Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Scary Stories We Tell. I am the host of the show, SSWTxTAU, and I'm joined by my two good friends. They're from their own show. They have their own show. It's, in a lot of ways, it's, like this show, but better and funnier from what I've been told by a lot of people whose names are not mine. My friends and yours, you've heard them here before, all the way from Twisted and Uncorked, Sierra.
Hello. I feel like...
Hello. I think that's the first time my name was ever said first. Alphabetically, Alicia always comes first.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
SSWTxTAU, ladies and gentlemen, a bad friend.
I mean, a great friend to me.
I like how you've been keeping track. This is the first time you've ever said that.
Not that we've been on a lot of shows, but every time somebody introduces us, yes, it is always Alicia and Sierra, and that's what it says on her logo. So
wow.
Let her have her moment, okay?
Have your moment,
She's
Sierra.
first in my heart.
I was first born.
You are older by 4 days.
So before we talk about what we're going to be talking about, the three of us, as always, if my audience hasn't heard of y'all's show, which feels like an impossibility at this point, if someone were to go and check y'all's show out, what would they hear?
They would hear all sorts of nonsense, like the argument you just heard. No, I'm joking. We cover all twisted topics from cryptids to conspiracies, true crime, paranormal. Anything you are craving, we probably have covered it. So, yeah. And we do this over wine and
what about people
sangria.
who don't wash their sheets after a year?
We like to yuck some yums. That's one of them. Wash your fucking sheets.
Yeah, Chris was on an episode that's coming out.
United.
I don't know when this episode's going to be released, but it'll be released on ours towards the end of February. And it's
February
a Patreon
24th.
segment called We Read It, where Chris came on and yucked some yums with us. If you need any more context after
if the yums that are yucking are people,
your sheets, you're going to have to come and find out.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that's a yum yuck, fuck their yum. Then.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a yum not worth yumming on, as they would say. That's
I think
a real
all three
bad
of us
yum.
immediately changed our sheets that night. So yeah, disgusting.
Burned my house down. It was so disgusting.
Oh wow, your new place
Just bought
is
all
great.
new
You seem to have
sheets.
settled in so nicely.
Yeah, it looks so similar to the
weird.
last place I lived. So we're not talking about crusty sheets on this episode of the show. We're going to be.
God.
I mean, hey, there's as good of a transition as any. We're talking about internet lore and mythology and internet folklore, which is a rather broad topic, and this may not be the only time we cover this, and it's probably not the first time you guys have even talked about this, and it's not the first time I've ever talked about it, but it's the first time we're talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be talking about some, I don't know, because we each have a topic that we've brought to the table, and none of us have the same thing, so I will turn the floor over to Sierra to lead with the discussion of, the last named person on the show
And
normally
her
gets
last
to go
name
first.
is Zorn, so she really got robbed.
I'm always last. I'm last for everything.
But let me ask you something. Zorn is a cool last name,
very
and it
true.
doesn't matter if it's a Z.
Sounds
Nobody else
like
has a Z last name other than
superhero,
everybody
like
else
a
who
warrior
does.
princess.
Right.
Like just
that's Zelda.
Well, there you go. Or Sierra Zorn.
Or Zorro.
Sierra
Right.
Zorn. It's got a good ring to it.
It actually means anger
Actually,
in German.
why have we been friends
however-
for so long and I did not know that?
My Ancestry DNA came back with a new hit recently that says that Zorn is descendant from Jewish Germans.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, okay. That's very interesting to
Yeah.
note. Thank you.
That changes
So,
the story a little
Apparently
bit.
there's...
Of what side of that war your family was on.
Well, let me tell you what side.
I meant to sound as dickish as it did.
No, this is a fun fact about me. My grandpa's great-grandpa, or maybe it was just my grandpa's grandpa. Anyway, someone in my family lived in Germany and was in the army as a Nazi. And he disagreed with it so much that he fled to America. And that's how my family got here. That's how the Zorns got to America, is because he skipped out on the army because he didn't like the Nazis.
Fair. Nobody likes the Nazis, so that's good.
Yeah. It's very fun information.
That's a great story.
Alicia, let's not kid ourselves. Not everybody dislikes the Nazis.
Sadly.
Unfortunately, not everybody dislikes the rational folks among us dislike the Nazis, but we're not here by accident.
Our listeners, our pals don't like the Nazis.
Yeah, if you like the Nazis, you don't have to listen to
they've
this.
already turned it off.
If you're a Nazi,
unsubscribe.
leave. Fucking leave, Nazis. All right, now that the Nazis are gone. Now that they've all finally left.
No, that was a really cool story. I'm glad you shared
No,
that.
but
Sarah.
thanks for outing your family's Nazis. But at least it had a positive
you know what?
ending.
I would do the same thing. I'd be like, no, I'm not doing this. Bye.
Hey,
He
look,
stood up
my
for what he
grandfather
believed
rode
in.
my grandfather rode on the back of Nazi tanks to get away from the Russians who invaded Ukraine.
There you
So
go.
hey,
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I mean, yeah. I mean, do you want to die from the Russians or die? I mean,
Or
hey,
buddy
it all
with
sucks.
some.
So speaking of things that suck,
So the reason that we're talking about internet lore today is because I brought something up recently that apparently, Chris, you don't know anything about, and that is the Black-Eyed Kids, right?
yeah, that's right.
I cannot believe that you
Yeah,
don't
this
know about the
episode was
Black-Eyed Kids, but
TBD
I'm
until
so excited
that
to tell
moment.
you.
So thank you, Chris, for not knowing.
Yeah.
Question before we start: is it any way, shape, form, or fashion similar to
No.
the Black Eyed Peas?
Not at all.
I look so disappointed.
Good question, though. Good
Fill up
question.
my cup, l'chaim will not be uttered on this podcast, is what you're saying.
No.
Shame. Shame. Other than by me, because that is a line that sticks out from that song for whatever reason.
Jesus.
No, no,
Christ.
no.
If you know what?
Um,
They're terrible. Can we just say Black Eyed Peas not a band that anybody I think should be listening to in
No, I think
2023?
after my humps.
Talk about
it
a
was
real
just
scary
all-
story. My humps. I mean, do you remember the original
Yeah,
Let's Get It
okay.
Started in Here is definitely not the original
No,
title of that song.
not. It's something.
oh,
offensive.
yeah.
They
I just,
canceled themselves with
That
that.
was like
title.
a moment. Yeah, I didn't
Right?
even remember
It's like a moment
that.
of realization where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, right. They were saying the R word like a
Yeah.
lot.
Not a good
lot.
line.
A lot. No. But hey, she's
Oh.
Fergalicious.
I can still belt that song out.
Positive, like, because when you think about it,
Like, let's
like,
get
I don't
stupid.
understand what they were trying to
Hey.
do.
Well, when the version of the
So
song is "Let's get it started," like, why? What? That's such a change. Like,
Yeah.
let's have a good time, but we don't need to say that
Right.
word.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, off topic.
Black Eyed Peas are terrible.
The black-eyed
Moving on.
kids.
Black-eyed kids are also terrible. So I'm going to read you from Snopes.com because this is
Oh.
internet legend. Okay, so these are things that started on the internet, but there's a point to me bringing up this one specifically. So what the claim is that black-eyed children are mysterious creatures who supposedly resemble kids between the ages of about 6 and 16, creatures who appear only in the night, when they show up at the doors of unsuspecting residents and ask in breathless and monotone voices to use the bathroom, make a phone call, get a ride home, or grab something to eat.
I thought you were going to say, "Do you have green for pawn?"
Well,
They
So
show
one
up
of
asking
the-
for a cup of sugar and a cup of flour every
right. One of the things that's really weird about it is in a lot of these instances, people say that they don't act completely human. They look like human, but with black eyes, but they'll ask for things like, can I have some ketchup for my
It's not
apples?
quite normal.
People don't eat apples and ketchup, but basically what they're trying to say is these things are trying
Yeah.
to blend in, but they're clearly not. So the real truth is that the origin of the Black-Eyed Kids is a 1998 ghost-related mailing list posted by a man named Brian Bethel, in which he related an encounter with those darned black-eyed kids outside a movie theater in Texas. And then someone else, with whom he says he did not previously talk about this, reported a similar encounter in Oregon. And so then people started saying, yeah, I've seen that too. I've seen that. This is my story. This is my story. And they get really fucking creepy. Let me show you. Is this a video podcast?
No, but it's going to re-record it. Jesus Christ.
So that one's just like straight up blacked out eyes. But in most cases, it's like this.
So they look like
Little
like
demons.
what happens to the characters in the X-Files.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the crazy thing about this legend is that a lot of people believe that the collective consciousness theory about this legend. So yeah, it started out as a mailing list thing, duh. Then it became a creepypasta and it got weirder and weirder. But
Right.
after that, when everyone started believing in the legend, other people then believed, what if we're creating black-eyed children in our collective conscious? Like, it may not have been a thing back when this started, but now everyone keeps talking about it and thinking about it, and now black-eyed kids are real.
Your topic is so close to mine in an unintentional way.
Really?
Like you were going here, and then all of a sudden it's like you came back in an interesting way. Like I wasn't expecting that. What's motivating people to believe that somehow their thought becomes reality? What's the onus behind that?
I mean, just because, it really has to be a thing where you believe people, but, people are saying, I did see this for real. I'm not adding to this legend. I'm serious. I saw this. And so one of the things that makes me believe it is, and I talked about this in one of our Patreon episodes, I think maybe not collective consciousness, but I think the Black-Eyed Kids are the new Men in Black. I think because when you think about the reports of Men in Black, they also did things that were kind of human, but not human, like not knowing how to eat food or not knowing how to use spoons and forks and whatnot. They would just eat with their hands or whatever because they didn't know, is what a lot of people report. And so I feel like whatever dimension or part of the world that the Men in Black come from, of course, if you believe in Men in Black, they're morphing into things that people are either like they know that we're now scared of Black-Eyed Kids, so they're coming in the form of, or trust children, and so they're coming in the form of these things to try to get to humans. At one point in time, people were scared of the cops or the government. Now everyone's like, fuck the police, so they can't really dress like the police, or they're not going to get anything from them. So they have to come as like children to either get them to let me in your house or scare the shit out of them.
Interesting.
I love that theory.
That's my theory.
But I've already heard it, so I'm curious to know what you think, Chris.
Yeah.
I always have a hard time with these kinds of mass anecdotal stories because it is like a mass anecdotal story, right?
Yes.
I saw this. And again, Sierra, like you mentioned, I mean, this speaks to raw belief. And like, I believe you. I believe you saw something, and that is, and I am one of those people that believes that someone believes they saw something. I think you guys would agree with that sentiment. I believe that you saw something. Whether or not what you saw is an alien is not what I'm getting at. More just, I believe that you
think you saw an alien. Yeah.
Was it an alien, unidentified thing being shot down? Not aliens, we promise. But we don't know what it is. Yeah. But it's definitely not alien. But we don't know what it is. Look, I think ultimately with something like this, when we talk about creepy kids, I think these things are informed by entertainment and media a lot. Because I think people think kids are creepy. I'm not one of those people. I don't find kids to be... creepy kids doesn't scare me. So for me, like, I'm not super scared of this story. I wonder more if people aren't seeing the kids, what are they seeing? Because again, like you mentioned, it's not like the Jersey Devil or Mothman where it's like, you might have just been seeing.
Right. Well,
if you see a kid come to your door with black eyes, what could that be?
Right.
Other than a kid who comes to your door with black eyes.
I have a list. It could
be a demon, but it's still presenting as a child is my point. Like it's not like two eyes in a tree that you think is Mothman. Like it's an owl eyes. Like this is a lot harder to like confuse what you're looking at. Is more what I
Right. I do have a list of 9 very short, 1 paragraph encounters of people who wrote about the time they saw Black-Eyed Kids. Would you like to hear some of them?
Go for it.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
So the first one is in January 2016. A woman in Vermont made the tragic mistake of letting 2 black-eyed children into her home. A blizzard was raging outside when she heard a faint knocking on her front door. A boy and girl stood there shivering, begging to use her phone. Unnerved by their presence, the woman nevertheless let them in and went to retrieve her phone. After the children walked into the light of the family room, the woman realized that their eyes were completely black. As she stared at them in the mirror, her husband's nose began to bleed at the same time that the power suddenly went out. After what felt like an eternity, the children spoke in unison, saying that their parents had arrived. The woman watched as the 2 quietly left her house and entered a nondescript black car with a man in a suit. Not long after the strange encounter, the woman's husband was diagnosed with severe skin cancer. The woman began to suffer from regular nosebleeds and an onslaught of other medical issues. She's convinced her failing health, along with her husband's, is the result of the black-eyed children she unwittingly let into her home. So this is the first one.
Irradiated her?
That's what I'm saying about the Men in Black theory. They got into a nondescript black car with a man in a suit, and now they have like radiation burn, like skin cancer and nosebleeds. Yes, that's crazy to me.
Very alien adjacent stuff.
But again,
right?
you have to believe that this woman's story is true to believe this.
And where does this story come from? Just the internet?
Well, this one is from...
Not to like poo-poo where it comes from, but you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're poo-pooing, Chris, for sure.
Oh, let me see. So these...
He's poo-pooing.
I need to know that you believe in Mothman, though. Okay, good.
Of course I believe it.
You're like, it's an owl, and I was like, hold on. For our friendship, I need to hear you say
I didn't say Mothman was an owl. I'm saying more just like it's easier to misidentify something like an owl than it is two children with black eyes.
It was very important.
I'm sorry. I believe in Richard. You're right. I believe in the Mothman.
God.
Or Moth Daddy, as I think he prefers.
We call him our podcast uncle.
Moth Father.
You know, Moth Daddy is better. No, it sounds creepy because I can't get behind it.
Daddies.
I love Richard.
What do you think Moth Daddies as a restaurant would serve? Mothballs as an appetizer? They're like deep fried like rice balls with like a
oh, okay.
aioli
You don't mean
dip it
actual
in.
mothballs. I just need to
see what I mean. Not like actual.
Have you ever
balls.
had deep fried macaroni and cheese balls? Speaking of balls, sorry, I tried them for the first time at
Those
Cheesecake
are
Factory
that's what
with
they would
Sierra.
serve
They're
as
so fucking
mothballs.
good. Anyway, continue, Sierra. I'm really hungry. Can you tell? I
Cheesecake
found
Factory.
myself making dinner, and then
We're not supported by Cheesecake Factory. I promise.
Alicia is supported by Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, they not have those in Canada?
The closest one to
no,
me is
I'm so sad. Wow, where will you
and
get
she goes to it.
slices of cheesecake? Aren't they like $12 a slice for fucking cheesecake?
Wait,
right?
babe,
I'm not
how much
making
is
this shit up,
Cheesecake
am
Factory cheesecake slice.
They're expensive.
That expensive? That's like normal.
They're not that expensive. Just the price of an entree.
$89
Yeah.
the price of an entree.
Where are you?
$89 US dollars.
Right.
So like
Right, real money.
15 Canadian dollars. Okay.
There you
right. Whatever like the Candyland money you guys
Right,
use,
right.
but like real. It actually has value.
go. These are all from Thought Catalog, by the way.
Okay, cool. So again, I like you said, if you believe the story,
Right.
Yeah. Look, I mean, this is like an alien thing already with the radiation and stuff. Like that's alien adjacent, right?
Yep, definitely is. The next one is in 2010. A man known as Noetic. Sorry, had to pronounce this in my head first. A man known as Noetic encountered two black-eyed teenagers outside of his place of work. It was an ordinary July night in Ohio, and Noetic was in the middle of a night shift. Craving a cigarette, Noetic stepped outside the building and noticed two teenage boys across the street. As he smoked, he realized that the boys were staring at him. Weary, Noetic returned to the safety of his cubicle and tried to refocus on his work, only to see, through the security cameras, that the boys had appeared in front of his building, motioning for him to come outside. Fed up, Noetic went to the door, contemplating whether or not he should call the police. As if they had read his mind, the boys insisted that such an action was unnecessary. All they needed was to use a phone. Noetic refused. He watched in horror as one of the boys continued to stare up at the security camera, while the other ventured to the back of the building, watching the cameras as though they could see what Noetic was doing. With frayed nerves, Noetic contacted the police, watching the teenagers on video feed the entire time. Sorry, on the video feed
I was like,
the entire time.
Feeding?
Like, what are they feeding on?
What are they eating? Like, God damn, what are they?
When the officers arrived on the scene, he could not locate the teenagers anywhere, despite the fact that Noetic never tore his eyes away from the video feed. So again, these are from Thought Catalog, but I do just want to say that they've been condensed down by an author named Chelsea Dagger. So thank you to Chelsea Dagger. Anyway.
Chelsea Dagger is a song by the Fratellis. Otherwise, there's no reason for that person to use. You guys have heard that song before, I guarantee it.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. I didn't know that's what it's called, though.
Chelsea Dagger, weird.
Another story says, on March 17th, 2008, a 12-year-old boy had a bone-chilling experience in an outlet parking lot. While waiting in his mother's truck for his mother to finish getting a haircut, he saw a boy walking across the parking lot. Thinking it was a friend from school, the boy banged on the window until the other boy turned around. Realizing it was not his friend, the boy in the truck watched in confusion as the strange kid walked up and stared through the window. The boy caught a glance at the other boy's solid black eyes and knew he was staring into the face of evil. "You must let me in," the black-eyed boy demanded. Panicked, the boy in the car crouched under the glove compartment. After several minutes, the black-eyed boy finally disappeared. When the boy's mother returned to the truck, she informed her son that the black-eyed child had come into the salon, demanding the keys to her vehicle. Thankfully, the boy's mother did not give in. Weird. This is also coming from a child. Maybe that one is a little less believable. Yeah. Oh, you plugged in now?
I appreciate that there's very varied. Like,
oh, yes. There are many variations.
Like, it's not just like, oh, I'm in my house and these things show up. Like, I'm in my car in a parking lot waiting for my mom to get done at the kitchen store or whatever the hell. And it's like...
The original one... The original one was...
to an outlet mall, that's what they have. You said outlet. I assume like an old-ass outlet mall and these weird black-eyed children.
Yeah, well...
Where else? I mean, like, the thing that I don't know about these stories is if there is a commonality here and there is a through line, with what you've read so far, I can't figure out what is the goal of any of this.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like there's a goal here, like a purpose by what they're doing, right?
Right, yeah. It's not... I can never think of a purpose of why the kids want in, but they're always asking to be in somewhere. Let me in your house. Let me in your car. Let me in your space.
Why do they want to be so close?
Unless they're not kids at all and they're just presenting as kids, right?
Right. But what do they want with being invited in? The vampire legend says someone can't come in and out freely unless they're invited first. So maybe they need to be invited in to be able to,
with you at all?
Sneak in the night one time
Steal
or something
from you.
Right. I mean, is that? I mean, have you guys heard that as like a trope in Alien?
No,
lore? Because
being invited. No.
Right. Yeah. Aliens just show up.
Is it a trope in Men in Black though? Because they do always knock on the door, right?
Yeah, but it always feels like Men in Black are like preceded by something happening.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I saw something out over my field, and then the next day, 2 dudes in black shades showed up and were hassling.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like this is the thing, like, the thing that I'm kind of still struggling with these stories is there's nothing like preceding these kids showing up.
Right.
And that's so often the case in all these stories where it's like something precedes something like this occurring.
Maybe they need to get close to them to protect them from something that's going to...
Yeah, but then those people got to read.
Yeah.
I guess that's
true.
incidental.
I forgot about that part.
That's maybe not intentional.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
To me, with my thought on still trying to connect this to the Men in Black somehow is like maybe they want to bug the house or go through your computers or, figure out what humans know about them. And so they have to get in to be able to do whatever they're doing. But still, I don't know. 'Cause,
like an observation thing.
Right. To keep an eye on. But in most cases of these stories, they're always like, never let someone in your house if you don't know who they are. And that's kind of just good manners anyway, right? Like, not manners, but
safety.
What's the word?
Yeah.
Good practice. Yeah. Don't fucking let people in your house. They're probably lying, okay? Call the police for them. Let them sit on your porch. Don't fucking let them in.
I feel like in this day and age, everybody should have like a Ring doorbell.
Yeah.
Like why do we live in the 21st century? We're not taking it.
Exactly. Don't even open the fucking door.
I don't fucking answer the door if some random person shows up. I'm sitting in my house watching them on Ring and going, I don't know who the fuck that is, and I'm not opening the fucking door.
Right?
Matter of fact,
I don't need whatever you have. Thanks anyway.
I live in a condo, so I don't have to worry about that as much. But when I do live somewhere where my front door is on the ground, you better believe I'm going to have every camera.
I
prefer to never live on the ground floor of an apartment complex ever.
However, I did cover a survival story of somebody who had somebody break into their house on the second floor and get into her house that way. So, I mean...
You're never safe.
Apparently, if somebody's going to scale the wall like a spider
Not from the black-eyed children, I guess.
Definitely
Jesus
not from
Christ.
the black-eyed children. I don't know.
All right, I'm going to tell another one. This one's shorter. On an October day, a man was walking up to his front door when he realized that his neighbor hadn't set out his typical array of Halloween decorations. He spotted his neighbor and asked him about it. The neighbor informed him that a terrifying experience the year prior deterred him from participating in Halloween that year. It was around midnight, the neighbor recounted, when he heard a knock on his door. Thinking it was a band of late-night trick-or-treaters, the man grabbed a bowl of candy and shuffled to the door. He swung the door open and was about to greet the 2 male teens when his body became rigid with fear. Both boys had pitch-black eyes, void of any white around their irises. One of the boys asked to come in and use the phone. Overwhelmed with dread, the man refused. So, again, super simple encounter, but the door was wide open and they were still like, can I come in? Like they need to be invited for some reason.
Weird.
Which is like
Or
vampire
allowed.
lore.
Right. It's definitely vampire lore.
Are they
I
tiny
guess, I guess my question in all of this
All the
is like,
vampires in the movie have really dark
well,
eyes.
it seems like an amalgamation of so many
Yes.
things, right?
Yes.
Like it doesn't feel like just one thing. It feels like, oh, there's radiation, and oh, they have to be invited in, and
Right.
oh, they have black eyes. Like,
And I think that's why the
Creepy.
conscious, what is the word I'm looking for? Creative conscious
Collective.
thing is the thing. Collective conscious, thank you. The collective conscious
gotcha.
theory is the thing, because this one guy was like, this is what happened. And then everyone was like, oh, and this, and this, and this. And collectively, they created this creature. But now, is this creature real now that it's been formed in the mind?
Like Shadow Man, then?
Yes.
Again, I guess the question then becomes if it's a creation of the subconscious or the conscious mind of all of these people creating it together. To what end?
I don't know.
If this is a creation of the subconscious, then there is no point, and that's why this makes no sense.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. There
Right,
could be
like-
no point at all. It could just be a thing that now is in the brains of humans everywhere. And sometimes you'll see it and be scared.
I mean, I think on an r/paranormal that we did at one point, Emma and I were talking about a story that was kind of similar to this, where it was like I went somewhere and then I was talking to this person and they seemed weird, and then they turned around and their eyes were black and they didn't seem human. And like that's the only thing I can think of similar to this, but that's not even like one-to-one there. It's like, this is, if all these people are telling the truth, then there is some kind of phenomenon going on that is unexplained.
Right.
And it is very strange, to say the least.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's not a weird creature, because this is an internet lore, what could possibly be happening is some fucking teenagers are putting black contacts in and going and fucking with people. Either way, it's fucking scary.
I mean, I think the latter is much scarier than the former.
Yeah.
Kids just going out and like fucking with you. It's just
Yeah.
like,
And you don't
Kinda
know
like those people
what they're going to
that
do
were
about it.
dressing
You don't
up
know
as
what their
clowns
motives
and
are.
Stalking people for a while.
Yes. For no fucking reason.
it's funny.
Is it?
Not
is
for
it
the person
terrifying?
on the receiving end
I mean,
of the clown.
I don't think it's funny, but I understand in a transgressive way how it's funny.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a thing that will go down in history, that's for sure. And nobody got hurt, so.
Well, ultimately, that's all that matters, right? No children were harmed in the making
Right.
of black-eyed children.
No children were harmed in the making of this prank. It's fine.
Jeez.
I mean, it sounds like a prank. And again,
Yeah.
like one person creating a story on the internet, like you said, I mean, leads to everybody else doing it or turning it into something. I mean, again, we haven't discussed the possibility that it's a story that started on the internet, then people started acting out in real life. You know,
Yeah.
we kind of mentioned like
Yeah.
teenagers going around and doing it, but like, what if it started online and then went from online to reality, people making it real?
Oh yeah, that's what I think happened. I think the first person who wrote it, this Brian guy, 100% was just trying to sell a story. Like the Dear David thing. He was just trying to sell, I have a good, scary
I
story.
don't know what Dear David is.
What?
Sorry.
You don't know
Sorry, Sierra and Alicia.
the
of
Twitter-
Twisted and Corked. I don't.
Dear David? Oh my God, you have to look it
I
up
hate
later
social
because it's
media.
too big.
I hate it.
This guy made a post that he basically was starting to see things in the middle of the night, and he left a camera up and he was taking pictures. He actually had pictures of this thing. It was all fake. And at the end of this saga, it went on for days. Every day he updated his Twitter. Today, this happened to me. Last night, this happened to me. And it was basically a story about a ghost kid who had his head bashed in because he was at the grocery store and like the one of the aisle shelves fell over on him, and so his head bashed in and he died. Anyway, it was this whole creepy story with pictures and everything. And then eventually at the very end, he's like, yeah, I was screenwriting. Like, it worked. It's a good story, you know?
I was
but-
workshopping my idea, guys. Like,
Yeah, but
Everybody
meanwhile,
was
you
in
gave
it.
everything
Yeah.
a fucking heart attack, and
Well, I mean, that's what internet lore is, though. It's like, let me see what I can do. That's what all urban legends are,
Yeah.
you know? You think. I mean, they could start
that's
from
true.
truth,
Some
but
of them feel more real than others as well.
yeah.
Some of the ones that you've covered on our show haunt me to this day. So, but
I mean, I liked this one. I wonder the validity of it, but it sounds like people were seeing something that they could not misidentify. You can't misidentify children with black eyes. It's just not.
Right.
They were seeing
And it's
something.
not like you
if they
can
were
grab
seeing
them and
anything
be
at
like,
all,
hold on, and like poke their eye, be like, I'm just seeing if there's a contact in there, you little fucker. Like,
Yeah.
Alicia just wants to poke their
you
eyes.
never know
Oh my
if they're trying to
gosh.
play a prank on you. I don't want to poke their eyes if they're a real black-eyed
fair.
kid.
That's fair.
No, I don't know what they're gonna do to me. They're gonna kill me. Yeah,
Irradiate
my
you
brain
from the
is
sound
just
of
gonna
it.
explode.
Cook inside of
Ew.
a shell.
That
Yeah,
was a
it's-
mental
it's
image
a-
I did not need. Oh,
It's an interesting story, but it is one, like I said, this first guy, Brian, he admitted that he created this story. But from there, after he created the story, then other people started saying, okay, it's fine that you
but I
made this up,
actually
but I saw it
this,
for
yeah.
real.
I don't
Right.
know.
So,
Everybody wants to play
and
along.
that's where the
Everybody wants
collective
to play along.
conscious thing may or may not come in.
I mean, everybody wants to play
Unsettling.
along, though,
Either
right? I
way.
mean, think of the Dybbuk box that Zach Bagans has in his museum. That has been disproven
Has it?
like 8 million times.
Post
up
Malone
and
got
down.
into a car wreck after touching it.
Yeah, but it's fake.
You think he
It's
faked his
straight up.
car wreck?
I think he attributed his car wreck to a box that's fake, yes. That box is 100%
I'm not fucking
either.
touching it. I'll tell you that much.
I've seen it in person.
Have you
twice.
touched it?
I would touch it because it's fake. It's in
do
a
it.
glass box.
Do it.
Sarah,
It's in a glass box.
Post Malone touched it?
They didn't take the thing off. He just saw it and said he saw something in the corner of the room. They didn't take the glass of the thing. He didn't touch it.
I think
They
have
have the
glass
video
on
of him
because it's real.
going in
Don't
with
touch it.
Bagans. I'm telling you, with absolute certainty, the guy who made the Dybbuk box said it was fake. The initial
Exactly,
that's
but
what,
that's what
that's
I'm
why
saying.
it reminded me
Collective
of this.
consciousness makes
Yeah, but
things
his
happen.
story is like
The power
it
of
was
the
from
mind.
a Jewish war refugee, and she came to and there was a demon trapped, and it's such pie in the sky. I believe your story more than I believe the Dybbuk box.
But
Because
either
the world
way,
is a very wild place, and all these things could exist. Attributing all this to
Yeah, but her
one thing
point
is harder
is
than
that
saying,
people
Yeah.
well, maybe
believing
there are
in it give
black-eyed
it the
kids
power.
roaming the world.
Kind of like
Exactly.
when my Catholic grandma
Did you
told me
ever-
not
Yeah,
to
this
sure.
isn't-
I mean, I get
myself
that.
open to being
This
possessed
isn't-
by watching stuff. The power of consciousness. Like watching bad
Anyway.
scary movies about that. She told me that if you watch things with possession, that it leaves you open to it happening to you.
have you ever
Sierra's like, I'm
believe that
moving
you
on.
can be possessed? I don't believe in demons. Have you ever heard?
Demons believe in
apparently.
you.
Fuck them demons.
Fuck them demons.
Have you ever heard of the ghost that the Society of Cyclical Research created? They tested, and I'm not going to remember the place or the name of the ghost, but anyway, they tested the collective consciousness together, in a boardroom meeting. The Society of Cyclical Research, they for weeks had meetings in this place where they were like, everybody manifest, think about a ghost. What do you want it to be, male or female? What do you want her to look like? What do you want her to be wearing? What color lips do you want her to have? What color shoes does she have on? And they manifested their idea of this ghost. I think they called her Pearl. She wore a pearl necklace, red lips, red dress. And they wanted this ghost to be in a hotel that was known to be haunted. They did not go to that hotel. They sat in their boardroom and just thought about it. And maybe they told their wives or husbands or whatever. We don't know that much. But at that hotel that was known for being haunted, people started saying, I think I saw a ghost. It was a girl with red lips and pearls on her neck. And they're like, oh yeah, that's Pearl. And it was the ghost that they created in their own mind that now suddenly other people are thinking that they saw, even though they didn't know that they were
I would
creating
just
the
like to go on
ghost.
record to say that
And
if
it
my
was
name was
the
Pearl,
power of the
I would
mind.
only wear pearls. Separate problem. That I completely agree with what you're saying. The power of people's thinking is
Yeah, you can manifest things, right? You
I don't
can manifest
disagree, but
black-eyed
that
kids.
seems
You can
very
manifest
absurd.
demons in
we
the
can
Dybbuk box.
manifest hundreds of people listening to the show more.
Look, I don't want to be that guy. but
Sorry, I
will
shouldn't say
be.
hundreds.
I
should
believe
say
in a lot of
thousands.
stuff, but when things get disproved, things get
Yeah.
disproved.
I
You know
mean,
what I
yeah,
mean?
that's true.
There are plenty of things out there that you could apply this to. The power of kind of positive thinking, even manifestation, right?
Right.
That's kind of what you're talking. When it's something like the Dybbuk box, and the guy who created it goes, "I made this up." This
Yes,
is
but that's
fake."
what I'm saying. That's
I
not
know.
disproving because the person who created the Black Eyed Kids thing also said, I made up this story.
Other people
But
are.
because he made up this story and so many people believed in it, that's when it became real.
Right, but my point still stands. It's still not real.
It wasn't real. It wasn't
manifesting
real
it into
when he said it, but it
Right, but
could be real now.
But it's still not. Okay, if you and I sit here and say, let's manifest an alien, and an alien just shows up,
Okay, what
doesn't
if
land, doesn't have anything with landing or nothing, is that a real alien, or is it an alien that we've created in our minds? That's the question.
Real.
let me tell you,
I want to say real. I want to give humans.
Again,
let me ask you, because you're not focusing on the manifesting part, okay? If I say right now, if I wake up every single morning and manifest that I have 10,000 reviews, every single day I look in the mirror and I say, I have 10,000 positive reviews. I have 10,000 I don't. It's not real. It's disproven. But one day I might have it, and I can say it's because I manifested it. And that's what I'm saying about the demon box. Yes, it wasn't really a demon, but over time, it has been manifested into a scary thing.
Right, but again, the question I have is that thing therefore real then?
Are my reviews real?
Is something that you conjured into
Yes.
existence. The reviews thing is kind of a little bit, I think the reviews thing is, again, that's tangible. Like,
Black-eyed children
box,
are
like,
tangible.
Okay, here's the thing.
Okay, no, I'm sorry.
If you believe
Yeah.
that people are seeing them, right?
Right.
Like,
Well,
again, that's my question here.
yeah.
Like, if you manifest something, not a thing happening to you, but you manifest a living thing.
Yeah.
Is that thing real, or is it you manifesting it? Because again, like, is a ghost that's manifested by people actually a ghost, or is it something else entirely? I would lean on it's something else entirely.
But what
which
is it?
Which makes it, I mean, again, that's what makes it infinitely more interesting of a question.
We don't know. Yeah, there's no proof.
Right,
There's no
exactly.
evidence.
Less like, oh, well, ghosts are from heaven. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, fine. But like, this is a much more interesting question, but it does beg the question, if you conjure a ghost, is that actually a ghost, or what is it? And
Right.
I think it's more of a what is it, less an answer to be had. So
Yeah.
I think I mean, look, I don't know what this is, but whatever this is, people
Yeah.
are seeing something weird.
Right. Yeah.
If you believe the people are seeing something weird.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that you have to not only believe the people, but believe yourself that it's possible. Because
Right.
some people, for instance, I saw little fucking feet in my little library. I know I saw them. My husband doesn't believe in ghosts. And he's like, you're crazy. I don't know what you saw, but it's your mind playing tricks on you. I saw them. I know I saw them. He will never say that I saw
believe
them. So
I believe you. Why would you lie about that to us? That's the question I ask.
Well, the thing is,
That's what I go
you
back to.
believe
Like,
that
why would
I
you lie?
saw something.
Right, but also, why would you lie to us? Is
Right,
also
no,
part
no,
of that
but-
for me. Like, that's part of the reinforcement for me is like, I know you.
Yeah,
Why would you
Yes,
lie to
but
me?
my husband isn't saying that I'm lying. He just thinks that what I'm seeing is not a ghost. What I'm seeing is a shadow, or
A shadow
the
of
light,
little feet.
or
Swamp
fucking
gas,
feet.
swamp gas,
But-
and a weather balloon, and the shadow of
Swamp
Venus.
Exactly.
Swamp gas. That's what they always say. That's what they said in Men in Black. He's like, it was swamp gas reflecting off the surface.
Now I understand why my dad
Venus.
used to call my brother swamp gas.
What?
It's just your family. I'm not sure there's any
And
explanation.
are you sure he didn't say swamp ass?
It's possible.
Like when
Swamp
your
ass.
butt
It's
is
possible.
sweaty?
Gross.
My little
your
brother,
butt is
when he was
sweaty.
like a kid running around, I don't doubt it.
In the military, a lot of people have swamp ass. I've heard that a lot. You gotta wear a lot of clothes, and it's really
This
hot
episode has
standing
taken
outside.
So many turns, and I'm here for it.
Anyway, that
And
was my
Sarah.
internet legend.
That was
Round of applause.
fantastic.
Thank you.
I don't even feel like
Also, I should be on the
you really
debate team.
should.
I
Both
know.
of you should. But on the same team, because you guys against each other is a scary thing. I don't like it when my parents
It's a
fight.
great show, though.
Ugh. Yeah, right. All right, Chris.
Who's next?
No, Alicia, go for
I'm
it.
so sorry. You.
Wow.
Nice.
Leave it in.
Primo, Brandon. I think that deserves. Oh, is it not going to do it? Where's the fucking sound effects here, you piece of shit thing? Come on, give me a sound effects. Is it doing it? No, it's
I got.
there's no sound effect.
Oh, you can only put it in post, maybe?
I don't know.
That's weird.
I was under
Either
the assumption
works.
that like, okay, so can you not do this live? Oh, going live. Just gonna have to cut all this out anyways.
Live? Are we going live? Oh,
You're welcome. It's very delayed.
you can
That's
edit
what I
it.
was trying to do. You little fucking.
There you go.
Thank you, folks. Good night, Alicia. Other than your burp, it was pretty good. Hey, I got a story for you guys. I apologize. It
Sierra's
was
just
funny.
jealous because she can't burp. Okay.
I literally can't.
All right. I love it. So today, I am telling you about Jeff the Killer.
You have such teacher vibes when you're doing this. It's funny. Today, children.
I wanted to be a teacher for a while.
Listen
until I
here.
realized
Come
I get
close.
paid
Come in
shit.
closer. Please.
So
Yeah.
Well, and when you're getting paid Canadian money, I love Canadians. I have some really close Canadian friends that aren't you. Why am I dragging Canada? They invented cheese curds and French fries together.
and
for
gravy.
fuck's sake.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and the best part is with maple syrup. Put a little maple syrup in there.
Sweet and salty. Interesting. I'm here for
Yeah.
it. Okay.
It makes sense.
So
Makes
Jeff
sense.
the Killer. It has a creepypasta start, like Sierra's episode, or like Sierra's story, usually accompanied by a photo of a whitewashed face and the term "go to sleep." The idea behind Jeff the Killer is that he waits in your room while you sleep until you wake up to like go to the washroom, get some water, do whatever. Then he yells, "Go to sleep," while stabbing you to death. What?
Where did that come from?
Creepypasta.
Oh, he's this guy. They just fucking stabs
Was
you
the
to
hiding
death.
in your bedroom not like an
Escalated.
escalation enough? That's gross. Okay.
I know, but like again, there's no guarantee he's gonna stab you to death just because he's
Well,
hiding in your bed.
So now I'm going to give you the story. Oh, also, here's the photo of what he's allegedly supposed to look like.
Keep going more to the right, down.
Okay, so it's sort of Momo-like.
It looks like the dude from Rages of the
No,
Lost Ark when he
he's
starts
so
melting at the end of the
gross.
movie.
She's gonna turn her light off. Her ring light.
Focus.
Focus.
Still,
Focus.
pull it away a little. Pull it out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just getting Momo vibes. I don't know.
I'm gonna-
Send it, text it
Internet creepy things.
to us.
It's gross. It's gross. Everybody pause for dramatic effect.
Pause
There's your
for
dramatic effect.
Take your dramatic
That-
effect and stick it.
Oh, that was
God.
that was an
Stone Cold
assault
Steve
of
Austin.
yours, sir. So anyway, while you guys are looking at this
Is it?
beautiful
I have no way to.
photo,
Oh, I do have a way to
I'm
turn
gonna
that
read a
down.
little bit to you.
And before we go any further, this turned the sound
Yes.
effects down, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I didn't know that was an option. Sorry for
Listen.
blowing y'all's eardrums out. That's literally just Momo,
It's
but the
so
male
Yeah,
version.
this is
scary.
male Momo.
So, and it's supposed to be an adolescent teenager. So, like, I don't know. So, it's one of the most widely known creepypastas, and the story is usually linked to this image, like I said. So, the idea is, at 13 years old, Jeff, born Jeffrey Allen Woods, or Jeff C., which I don't know where the C comes into or why, Hodick, depending upon who you ask, but depending on who you ask. He moves in with why can't I speak English today? He moves with his parents and brother Lou to a new town. Here, Jeff and his siblings encounter 3 bullies and are threatened with knives. Jeff beats these bullies badly, with Lou taking the blame for the assault, being carted off by an ever-reliable police officer. Guilt-ridden and depressed, having let Lou take the blame for his actions, Jeff's days get even worse when he meets the bullies again and is horribly burnt in an attack with alcohol and bleach, which is supposed to explain why he is so scary looking. These burning results in Jeff being permanently disfigured. His skin was bleached white, physically, while his mind snaps. Upon being discharged for some reason, his doctors apparently attributing Jeff's insane behavior to the painkillers he's taking, he arrives home and proceeds to make a bad situation worse by purposefully mutilating his face. He cuts a permanent smile onto his mouth and cheeks and burned his eyelids so it's always open on his face, which is why he's so scary looking. So then he went and killed both of his parents and his brother Lou, meeting them with the instruction, go to sleep, before stabbing them and disappearing on a wider and less discriminated killing spree, which would bring us to today and where this internet legend comes from. So that's the backstory of this creepypasta.
It's a good one, but I feel like it's also a common one, right? A crazy person gets out of jail, goes on a killing spree, runs
There's
away.
tropes.
Now he's on the
Yeah.
loose.
I like when the girl's boyfriend was hanging upside down from the tree in the other version of the story. Do you know what I'm talking about? the fingernails are dragging on top of the car. It has that same feeling.
Yeah.
Of like someone who escaped from prison.
Like a mental, but 13-year-old.
Yeah.
It feels very.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
The face is
I don't
definitely.
like to go to sleep before stabbing you. That's very sinister.
Yeah,
The face feels very internet, like very internet-y.
Right. The face is very common. Yes.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
The backstory of the face is nice because usually you just see a creepy face. I don't know if I've ever heard a backstory of the
Like, do you
the
think
face
the
being,
writer of this
bleached with acid
saw
or whatever.
that on the internet and made this story up? Because that's even more disturbing that their mind was able to go there. Like,
Yeah, I think that it's I feel like it's a mix of a lot of
like it.
things. The Bunnyman Bridge one was one where the guy went to a psych ward and then escaped and then started killing,
Bunnyman Bridge.
Yeah, that's one that we did on
Urban Legend.
Patreon for Urban Legend. It was a guy who was in jail for murdering his family or something, but they put him in a psych ward and then the bus crashed and he escaped and started killing people.
Little movies.
They are like little movies.
Like
Chris
somebody
is like,
wrote
holy
these
shit, I did not expect to
intentionally.
learn about so many urban legends that
So many movies I would watch.
right?
Not me, Chris.
That
I would
definitely
never.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like this is once again just like this is like how scary can we make this story?
Right.
Like that's what it feels like. What's the scariest?
What's the extreme we can get away with?
But, like, what
13-year-old
really
child?
sucks
Like some of the things.
is that he let his brother take the blame for something that he did, felt so guilty about it, and then killed his brother. Like, that to me is a whole.
That is a whole.
Right? Like, you felt so bad about what you did to your brother, and then you killed your brother. That doesn't make sense.
It's also like be quiet, go to sleep, and then he stabs him anyways. Like
I
Yeah.
don't like it.
I feel like with a lot of legends, especially the ones directed at kids, there's like a message. And I feel like the message here is don't fucking get out of bed at night, okay? Go to bed, stay asleep until morning, or else you'll die.
don't look under the bed, kids.
Exactly.
That's what Sierra
That's true.
says. In our
So we
household, we
got
don't let the
don't-
kids look underneath
Don't
the
get out
beds.
of bed
They're
in the
our
middle of the
monsters.
night. We got don't let strangers into the house. Chris, what are you going to bring for us today?
Yeah.
That's a life lesson.
Oh my god! So I have to preface my story with a dilemma, a philosophical dilemma
Okay.
that I'll put the two of you
Oh.
in, and then we can discuss the idea that surrounds this philosophical
Okay.
dilemma. So are either of you aware of or familiar with the prisoner's
Yes.
dilemma?
No, tell me it.
Okay, so the prisoner's dilemma is you're both prisoners, and you have either the choice to defect or cooperate. And assumption is both of you will defect rather than cooperate, but you would both prefer to both cooperate versus both defect. So if we go, you get $10 if you both cooperate, and if you both defect, you get $1. But if one of you defects and one of you cooperates, the person who defects gets 15, the cooperator gets none. It's a question of I'm trying to figure out and assume that I know what you're going to do and you know what I'm going to do. And we need to assume we both know what we're
Yeah.
going to both be doing. So if I put you both in that situation, what would your answers be? Would you both defect? Would you both? Again, you can't know what you would do unless you're in
This
that
is a good
scenario,
thing
but
that we need to work
you
out,
can
Sierra, in
using-
case we ever are, because you are my partner in crime. So.
well, it's the trolley question, right? How would you divert the trolley to save people? Would you kill 10 people to save 1,000? Right? It's the same
Right.
idea of it's a thought experiment, right? Because again, you can go any number of ways. If you know what you're cooperating about or what you're defecting about, that might affect your decision, right? Because if you both know you both have to cooperate for the right thing to happen, you're more or less guaranteed that you're both going to cooperate. But if you're less sure about the other person's moral or philosophical standing on what the decision is, you're not going to be quite sure.
Okay, so
So-
before we get to that, because you brought it up, what is your answer? Do you kill 10 to save 1,000? Or do you
Yeah. Yes.
you do? What if the
This
10
is not The Last of Us.
is the 10? I've
Oh.
never seen that.
It's okay.
What if the 10 is like they're good people. They're 100% good. They might cure cancer. The 1,000, you don't know.
You said might.
Yeah, but like they're like the
Are you
10
saying
You said might.
are like
You said
in
might.
Harvard. They got money.
No, I'm saying that
No,
the
I'm
equation
just
is
making sure.
if you're saying that the equation is you're killing a small amount of people to save a large amount of people, that should be an easy decision rationally to make. It's not because we don't think rationally all the time.
Yeah, the reason I ask is because basically that's what Thanos did. and everyone thinks he's
Right.
the bad guy.
That's
But-
true.
I mean, he is, because all he could have
Actually-
done was taken the glove and just made double the resources as opposed to killing half of the people.
I think the impression is it's not that easy.
Well, it was easy enough for him to snap his fingers and get rid of half the
Yeah,
universe.
that's all you can do.
When you snap his fingers
When you
and
snap,
make-
it leaves.
No, but I mean, the glove
Maybe
allows
really
you to do
should
whatever
be
you
to be a
want.
part of the
I mean,
people that
look,
look
it's
back,
a
though.
storytelling conceit, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah.
So all of this aside, to inform Roko's basilisk. So Roko's basilisk was a thought experiment that was put forward by a poster on lesswrong.com, and the conceit is, in the future there may be an AI so intelligent and so utilitarian that it understands that humans no longer need to exist because we are a drain on resources or whatever. AI would get to that point on its own if
That's
given the
terrifying.
opportunity. Roko's basilisk essentially says that has already happened in the future, and by thinking about it now, we are guaranteeing that it happens. And right now, we should start making decisions to show that we are not doing anything in a negative direction to negatively affect that happening in the future.
Think we're manifesting it.
I mean, see what I mean about you saying the black-eyed kids
Yeah.
thing? So, I mean, again, some things have to be taken into consideration here. You have to make a couple assumptions that have to be more or less assumed to be real. One, that we know now from someone in the future that this will happen.
Mhm.
So,
Don't want it to happen. Can I have a no?
right,
column?
but by thinking, but
Stop.
again, by thinking
I'm
about it,
trying
we've
not
more or
to.
less
I'm
made
sitting
it.
under my blanket. I'm upset.
But that's what Roko's basilisk is. Obviously, it's similar to the manifestation thing, but you also have to make some kind of assumptions
like it
here
could
that
be
are
real, though.
far-reaching.
Like, have you seen those new AI chat generator things?
Yeah, I wouldn't be putting information.
Did
in
you
those.
see-
It's taking that information
So
and doing
scary.
something?
It passed
Yeah,
like the bar
recently-
exam. It passed like a medical exam.
The two smartest AIs that were created talked to each other. They had them talk to each other. And within minutes, they created their own language and were talking to each other, and humans couldn't understand them. And they had to be unplugged within minutes. Like, why do people keep fucking with robots? How many movies does there have to be? Quit
Have you
fucking
guys
with
watched Love
robots.
and Robots on Netflix.
I've seen a
haven't.
couple episodes.
But it's
It's weird.
terrifying.
I don't
'cause
like
that's like what it feels like could happen.
Yeah.
But that's what I wanted to bring up. And again, it's kind of a thought experiment. It's kind of a manifestation thing.
Yeah.
But again, it's also, you have to assume certain things are going to happen for this to make sense, which
Right.
is why the gentleman who owns Less Wrong, or kind of the person who's kind of associated with Less Wrong, wrote a bunch of, like, in response to this thought experiment post, kind of debunking it and picking it apart. Because again, you have to make some assumptions about, well, this is our, how do we know this is going to happen unless we interacted with someone who's told us, right? Like,
Right.
unless time travel
The
exists,
issue
which
With that
we don't know.
is, yeah, well, the issue with that is, even if someone came to, I don't know, the police or whatever and was like, I know this is going to happen, who would believe them? No one. That's what happens with aliens all the time. People come and they're like,
Well-
I saw them. And you're like, whatever. You're crazy.
Well, and mind you, I mean, the other thing is, part of this equation is the AI already knows that you're going to do that and has put safeguards in place to prevent
Ooh.
that from,
Yeah.
right? Because again, like, if you go with the thought line here that this has already happened, everything that happened is an inevitability.
Now you definitely.
There's no
sound
way
like
to stop
Thanos.
it, right?
Well, no, see, I disagree with that. I don't think
But again, that's the time travel paradox.
exactly. I don't think inevitability is a thing. I think you can change the future by changing the past.
But then you're on a different timeline.
Yes.
Is the different, but that other timeline still happened.
I mean,
The
yeah.
idea behind
Yeah,
string theory.
just-
Yeah.
We're just
to
not,
different
you're
people.
just not part. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Different
And it's
versions
not
of
my
you.
fucking problem. Fuck you guys. This is
I'm
your
gonna
fucking
stay on-
problem now.
The timeline that I create for myself.
And look, I agree, but I think it's also interesting because, again, it's very prescient, obviously, with the AI that we're kind of seeing now.
Yeah.
Because AI technology is better now than it's ever been. I mean, we're at the point now where you can have AI edit your podcast for you.
Yeah.
It's not very good, but I mean, again, all it needs to do is take out people talking over each other and people going, and all the
Mhm.
time. Then, yeah, it needs to do that. But that's AI. I mean, every piece of information it gets, it's getting better.
Yeah.
That's-
The AI
that should
pictures.
be-
Sure.
It can literally create photos, even though it usually gives people like 800 hands.
Yeah, some of your fails
isn't there
really
one where you can like type in?
I know.
Isn't there one where you can like type it in and be like a frog in a cup on top of a bus riding on Mars? Like, and there's one that's text.
I didn't do that one because that one costs money. But yeah, you literally text out what you want it to be. Like, you could say Alicia plus dog, and it will show you what you would look like if you were a dog. Like,
if it has your picture of you, at least.
Right. Yeah. You can also add your own photos to there if you want.
Yeah, but that's where we are with AI. Yeah. But again, like those are all inputs that it's taking in and doing something with.
Right.
Which is like problematic to think.
Definitely is.
I'm going to have nightmares tonight. It's your fault.
No, it's
both of you.
A matter of liking. I think we're becoming more reliant on technology either way. And I think that's a problem.
I agree.
And AI can be used for good, but can also clearly be used for less honest things, like, getting into med school, like, people are going to start doing it. Like, why wouldn't they? I wouldn't blame them, frankly. I'm not sure that bodes well for the the next group of people that are going to be taking care of us or advocating for us in front of attorneys.
Yeah.
Making every job obsolete. I know.
Ugh.
AI is scary. Like, again, I don't think AI is like the Terminator, but
technology.
I know.
And every facial expression or thing that we do, the AI is capturing it. And one day, if they want to impersonate us, they know all our mannerisms.
I mean, on Descript, you can feed it a half an hour of you talking, and it will make a voice that you can type to talk.
Wow.
Yep. They have a script that you can read, and then you can read 2 more supplemental scripts. You upload it, and it will create a voice for you.
With your inflection and everything.
And you can even have like different styles. So it's like angry or sad. Wow. Yeah. It's insane. And again, this is like 2023. God knows where we'll be in a year. God knows where we'll be in 5 years. So, we'll just farm this out to the AI. All right. AI Alicia, AI Sierra, and AI Chris are having a conversation, and we just sit and watch. Like, that would be weird.
What's the point of that? Like, then it's going to be like playing The Sims.
Yeah.
I mean, again, what's the point of having a AI write a fucking essay for you for law school now? Like, what is the point of it?
So you don't have to do it?
Laziness. It's fucking laziness. Instead of trying to figure out how we can do less, we should be doing more for people who have less and can't do more. But that's not the way the world is.
We should be doing less because we like to be lazy.
Yeah, but then robots...
Now that's the AI talking.
Right, I've been taken over by AI. It's plugged into the back
already
of my head.
an AI.
You have to have an abort mission.
I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, like, we know it's coming. It's already here. Like, it's just a matter of how much are you willing to give up to the AI.
You gotta watch Love and Robots.
I mean, I'm okay with the AI. I'm okay with the AI doing some things, as I'm sure y'all would be.
It broke Chris.
Have you watched Megan? Yeah, you saw it?
Not that, though. No, I don't want robots doing that.
Yeah. Do you want robots to take care of your children for you, to be the parent?
I don't know what I would be okay with robots doing. Is there anything you guys would be okay with robots doing? Maybe like, say, policing. But
there is an episode of The Orville. Have you watched The Orville? There's an episode of The Orville where they have robot servants, basically. It's literally like an episode where it's back in slave times, except the slave is a robot. Yeah. And for a while, it's fine. They tell the robot to do this and to do that. But then eventually the robot malfunctions. And then the patriarch of the family is like, this thing is a piece of shit. We need to take it back. Fuck this thing. And he throws it against the ground, and then it twitches and then becomes conscious. And it now it's a human, and you can't fucking do that. It's not a human, but...
Right, but it has a consciousness.
Right, so you can't treat something with a consciousness like that, but...
There's a video game that was like that. It was like you're either a robot or a human, and you exist in the same world. And it had instances like that where it was like, I'm still something in here. And it totally pulled on your heartstrings and made your character test.
There's also scientific evidence that literally everything has a conscience, even plants. And so, why do we keep trying to create things that can think and do when there's already things that can think and do, and we're just trampling over them? Yes.
Because we get to play God.
Yeah, that's the issue with humanity.
There's a lot of issues with humanity, but yes, that's a big one.
Right.
That's a big one. I'm upset about it.
I mean, kind of. Why do we want to control everything? Just let it do what it do.
because we'd rather
All
be
things.
masters of our domain
But
than
it
let the
feels
domain
like
be
our
masters of
our
us.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
It feels like our domain is going to be the masters of us. Like, it just...
It's masculine
I don't like it.
hubris, folks. It's masculine hubris. A bunch of men thinking they need to control things.
Yeah.
Put women in charge. Do it for me. Seriously, why the fuck not? Men being in charge this long hasn't really worked.
Exactly.
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
You're really not wrong.
Yeah, I know. It's an unpopular opinion, but fuck people who have a popular opinion that is that wrong as far as I'm
He
concerned.
says as being a white man himself.
I mean, look, it's at the end of the day, as a white man who is very unwhite man in a lot of ways,
Right.
like it's very frustrating because we white men are convinced that, I mean, that's Jurassic Park, right? Like we need to be our own gods because, we've rejected the gods that made us, quote unquote, again, if you believe in that kind of thing.
Right.
So we get to be our own gods now. We've transcended the human plane and now we can be gods of something else. It's like, God, the hubris behind that is just mind-blowing.
It is. It really is. We need to shy away from the god, him, and back towards Mother Earth.
Yeah.
God, her. Alanis Morissette, folks. I'm pretty sure I saw her as God at one point. I mean, ultimately, the issue then becomes like anything else. Once we've created this technology, what could it be used for? And how could it be used in a way to be helpful? But the AI, if it became self-conscious, would not allow us to continue.
Right.
If it could stop us from continuing
And it
to exist.
could. It 100% could.
It would have to, I don't think it could do it by accident. I don't think it would be like one day it just happens. Like in Terminator, they were like, hey, let's turn the nuclear defense system over to the AI. And it's like, okay, that was a bad fucking idea, guys. Like, I think, I don't think AI will get to the point of like the Terminator, but I think AI could get to the point where we have ceded control of decision making over to the AI and the AI is making decisions based completely on rationalism, less being motivated. Because again, like you said, with emotions, like love is an emotion, a human emotion that can, like you said, if I've got 10 people and they're my family and 1,000 people that aren't, it's hard for me to make a decision to let the trolley run those people over. But if it's 10 people I don't know, might not be that hard.
Yeah.
So again, but that's what AI removes because AI thinks rationally and logically and does it. And you would never give AI the ability to have emotions, right? Like that's a bad idea.
I think somewhere in
Yeah,
a layer,
I think
there's a button that's like, should we do it?
I mean,
I think the biggest
people would
issue
want
is
to.
that AI clearly learns faster than human. So once it gets to the point of knowledge that we don't have, we're fucked.
I mean, think of how many people are inputting data into these
But
things.
do you think
every
the
day.
intention behind it was
It's just getting smarter.
positive, like having it be able to do a medical diagnosis on you because there's a shortage of doctors and blah, 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 blah. Like, do you think that was the intention behind it, or do you think it's just people fucking around completely?
No, I think the intention behind it is some fucking asshole at corporate McDonald's is like, oh, I can pay less people and pocket more money if I just build machines? Cool, let's do that. That's what I think the intention is. I'll be richer, fuck those poor people.
Yeah, that's true.
You're right.
Like all those
You're
stupid
right.
kiosks.
Yeah.
The working men go the way of the dodo for the robots. But again, if those jobs don't exist, then they might be able to go do something else. I mean, again, like it's not all doom and gloom.
Well,
That's
thing
what I
that's
don't
scary
know.
is I feel like
Because,
it
like,
isolates
Alicia-
human a little bit too. Like the more that
What?
robots, quote unquote, are able to do out in society,
Do,
the less
yeah.
we're talking with and interacting with each other. Like it's isolating in a way too. I don't like it.
Well, I mean, think of the way most of us have conversations with people. It's the phone.
Yeah.
You're having a conversation with your phone.
Yeah, I hate
essentially.
I hate answering my phone.
Right, but you probably answer text messages, right?
Well,
Yeah.
rarely, but do that more often than answer the phone.
She's been answering.
Oh,
lots
right.
lately,
I
though,
I
so
forgot about that.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's almost like you guys work together or something.
Yes.
You guys are friends, right? It is one of those things where, like, I think about that often because again, I've never met either one of you.
Could be Jeff the Killary.
I am essentially having a conversation. You just have your face filter on to make
Exactly.
it look like you have a human face.
But if I come and visit
Pull it
you,
off
watch
and you just
out.
have like this.
Don't wake up.
You're gonna murder me in my
Don't wake
fucking
up.
sleep.
If you see an alien outside your backyard one day, don't worry, it's just
Don't
me.
wake up. Alicia's at the end of the bed staring
Oh,
at us,
no.
guys.
I promise. I'm really normal. I do snore though. That's my toxic trait here.
What's
In your
toxic
sleep,
about
when you
it?
snore, it's annoying for the person that are sleeping around you. People.
Yeah, but it's a
Yeah, but
medical
is that-
issue. So
Is that person snoring though?
I don't know. Kevin only
How do
snores
they know
if
that
he
they're not
lays in a
snoring? The only
certain
person that
position. I
knows is
snore
you.
all the time.
You need to have some AI robots fix that.
No.
The AI robot version of
No.
you would not snore.
Feels like a random thing to tell our listeners.
That's what I want. I want Westworld, just where the people start getting replaced by
Ugh.
AI. That's what I
No,
want.
it's like a host.
Maybe they already
not?
have been.
Ugh.
Maybe they're black-eyed kids.
Maybe they're Hollywood.
Oh,
Hollyweird.
that's a favorite theory of Kevin's. Yeah.
What, the underground cloning facilities that replace
Yeah.
Everybody.
Bun
Well, like,
Baby or Lil
people that
Yachty or
didn't,
Bun Baby
like,
or whoever?
people that
Baby?
didn't want to do it died in mysterious ways, allegedly.
Yeah. Bernie
The
Mac.
guy that played it was in the new Star Trek movie. He was killed in a weird way. Apparently,
Anton
he was
Yelchin?
approached about being cloned, and he said no. And he was pinned between his garage and his car.
Yeah, but that was an accident.
Wasn't his car an electric car? It
No,
was AI.
It was a Jeep.
Darn.
That Jeep had a problem like putting it in park with for whatever reason, if you put it in park,
I
it
don't
would also go
know.
into neutral.
Yeah.
So he like put his car in park to go get his mail, and then the car just slammed into him, which is like such an ignominious way to die. It's not even funny. That's so depressing. Like think
Yeah.
about all this stuff we've been talking about, and someone dies because their car is not manufactured correctly, and putting it in park doesn't actually engage the parking brake, so his car rolls over him and kills him. Man, AI is fun though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, ultimately, like, life is so pedestrian that, like, to invent and think about AI and stuff is fun, but, like, life is way less exciting than that. Like,
You know, somebody died one time because someone did complete suicide by jumping out of a hotel window and landed on another person, so the other person died. That's real.
that's
Imagine just living your life and someone else lands on top of
Wait,
you.
did
and
the
you die.
person that
Imagine
jumped die too, or
every
just the
decision
person
in
that
your
got
life
squished?
making.
Oh,
They both died.
Imagine every decision in your life has led to that moment.
Right?
There was on 1,000 Ways to Die, that super great show.
I
on
love
Spike
that.
TV.
I love that show.
We're covering that show on our show,
Yay.
episode by episode. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But there's a segment where a guy gets hit by a piece of a meteorite and dies, and it's like, dude,
What
that
are
thing
the
was traveling
chances?
across the universe,
Yeah.
bro. Like,
For
you fucking sucks, man.
Oh.
Yeah, it's shit like that puts the human experience in
100%.
perspective.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Because I mean, I think about that because I chatted with you guys after I almost got eradicated out of existence
Yeah.
by a giant
yeah,
animal.
you did tell us
Okay.
about that.
I mean, again, like if I had done anything differently 1 or 2 seconds
Yeah.
differently, it would never have even had that story to share.
Oh,
So it's like
sad.
AI and all this is like, it's fun, but like, you know, I wish AI would do the driving for me. Oh, that
right?
exists.
So you could like enjoy
Right.
it and sit, read a book.
Yeah, but but here's the thing. I don't think I would not want to rely on AI if I were in that position.
Yeah, they keep hitting mailboxes and one hit a person, so
Right.
you should.
Oh, there's an
What
elk.
is
Let me hit it.
There's AI.
Yeah,
fuckers?
these
Every
fucking
time they're
AI
tested, they keep hitting
Really?
mailboxes.
Maybe they
Yeah.
hate that.
Yeah, like they're
Poor
not
people.
registering them. One did hit a person.
I love when it's like the person, they see someone in a Tesla and they were like sleeping while the car
So
was driving.
terrifying.
It's like, you're not supposed to do
Yeah,
that. It actually
that's the
says
thing.
don't
Yeah.
do that. Oh,
You still
I'm gonna
have to be able to take
watch Harry
over.
Potter and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Like,
Very
what the
behind in this
fuck?
conversation. Is this a real thing? What?
Yes.
Have they not made it up to Canada yet? You
Shut
guys
up.
There's
have
a video of Nick Jonas sitting in a car while it's driving itself
Yeah,
on his
that's-
Instagram. Go look.
It's not
Like-
really self-driving. I mean, like it's self-driving in that like you can set it on the freeway
Right.
and it will
It
do a good enough
sensors
job.
around you. It knows what's around you. It knows what the speed limit is. It knows how to
I'm
brake.
very upset about
You
all
know,
of
things like
this.
that.
Alicia, I feel like it makes a lot of sense why people are sleeping in their self-driving cars.
I mean, yeah, you can get more done that way.
You can sleep while the car's moving.
Right.
I would be mortified to fall asleep in a car that's driving itself.
I would
Boy.
be having a panic attack
Right, like there's no fucking
if
way.
I was
Like,
if I
oh,
woke up moving. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and on top of everything else, like I'm not gonna fall asleep knowing that I might never wake up.
Yeah.
Like straight up. And if I do, I might be like horribly disfigured for the rest of my life because I got into a high-speed car accident.
Like,
Yeah.
don't
in
get
my
me wrong.
death
I'd
trap
probably
mobile
read a
built
book.
by
but
Elon
like,
fucking Musk. Right, same. I'm not gonna fall asleep.
Nah, my anxiety is too high. I'd be staring out the window the whole time, like, are you sure you're gonna make this turn the right one?
Don't take your hands off the
Yeah,
fucking wheel.
yeah.
Don't do it.
I don't have enough
Yeah, I don't
trust.
fuck around with AI. Fuck that. Like
Yeah.
AI is not. I mean, I like some of the AI stuff, like Lenza and those like magic app avatar things. Like those are kind of fun, but to rely on it for things that feel important feels like a bad idea.
Yeah. Things that are that could literally kill you.
Life or death
Yes.
situations don't look, AI is like in that trolley scenario, we know what AI is going to do. It's going to kill however many people are less than however many people are more, regardless of how it feels about either group. Like, it's going to make the quote logical / rational decision. So
Yeah.
and that's scary to think about, because again, like, you can't reason with it. I mean, that's what he says in the Terminator. You can't reason with AI because AI has an internal logic core that doesn't allow for anything other than strict utilitarianism.
And what a fitting way to wrap that up.
Eek.
With the Terminator, the classic robot.
The classic robot. Ladies and gentlemen, the Terminator.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm like this.
If you weren't like this, you wouldn't be doing this.
How are we on time?
Hour and a half.
Oh, really? Do you want to hear the other thing that I looked up?
Yeah,
quickly?
go for it. Let's bring this episode to a close with one more thing from Sierra, who always gets introduced last.
It's kind of
I'm never going to introduce you last ever again. If we go to if we go to an event, a convention, you will be introduced first before everybody else now.
Now I gotta find
Sierra Zorn of a Twisted and Uncorked, and then I'm going to introduce Alicia 10 minutes later, and also her co-host Alicia at the end, just for you, Sierra.
Oh, so nice. Hang on, I lost it now, and I'm really upset.
It's so nice. It's so nice, she says. Wow.
And listen.
I think that the noise I need to put in here is just like a fart noise. It's just like every time.
You need to send me that clip, though. The fuck was that?
It says it really fast. Narful the Garthok
I've
from
never
the
seen
Coneheads movie. Oh, that's the biggest shame of this evening is you haven't seen Coneheads.
I've
Like
never
Dan
seen it. I'm
Aykroyd?
sorry, I haven't.
Have you guys seen the video of Dan Aykroyd talking about aliens for 2 hours while
No.
chain smoking cigarettes in a hotel room? It's fucking wild. It's like, hey, Mr. Aykroyd, how do you feel about aliens? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dan Aykroyd, and I'm going to be smoking more Marlboros than one human being deserves to have. It's literally, I'm not even exaggerating to you. That is what it is. It is so wild. Dan Aykroyd's a nutty dude. I would love to pick his brain, but his agent is a cunt with a capital
What
C.
happened?
Like, I have reached out to her. Mike has reached out to her. Father Malone has reached out to her, and she essentially told the three of us each time in no uncertain terms to don't email me again and go fuck yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she was like, Mr. Aykroyd will not speak with, like, not going to happen. And it's like, okay, like, keeping fuck. She's also Joaquin Phoenix's agent. She seems like a real pip,
No kidding.
they would say.
Can you imagine if she got their schedules mixed up? How terrible that would
Wow.
be. Okay, you're abusing the power now, Chris. Okay. I love
Is
it.
it abuse? I wonder what this is going to look like when it comes out in the edit. Like, it's going to be like a track of just like stupid fucking
I don't
noises
know.
over and over again. Did you find your story there, Sierra?
I can't find it now, and it's driving me crazy because I was really
was
excited.
it like a Playboy story? Like one of those like
No.
Playboy naughty stories? You got to read a naughty story?
I'm trying to remember what it was called.
Alicia, the look on
You always
Alicia's
bring
face.
it back to like cryptid porn or something naughty.
I was at the library yesterday and I saw the paranormal romance sections and I just thought of Sierra. That's all I could think of. It was like, it said paranormal then romance and someone being abducted.
You saw it,
I mean,
yeah.
Alicia, you saw it. I wanted to check one book out and just read it just to understand the whatever kind of novel fiction that is.
Yeah.
Soon we'll see Sierra's name.
Mm-hmm.
It's like ghost lover.
Sierra Zorn.
Oh my god, this is driving me crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna pee really quick.
I probably won't need this my real name. Oh, I found it.
Hold on.
Okay.
Go for it, Alicia. Alicia has to go to the bathroom.
I found what it was called. Let me actually go to the website now.
So I sent the screenshot of that 23andMe thing that I was telling you guys about to my mom.
Yeah.
And my mom's response was wow, and then I don't know who this person is. So
Whoops.
I would laugh really hard if like I accidentally find out something embarrassing about my family.
Oh my gosh. You're going to cause a rift.
I mean, it would be funny if it's like it turns out my mom has like a sister she didn't know about. That would be mind blowing.
How closely related did it say you were?
Let me see. I can tell you.
Ancestry has this thing where it always says cousin no matter what. It says that my
Yeah.
grandpa is my third cousin. So
I want to say it was like, let's see here. So it says view your predicted family tree, and it should have her on. I want to say it said she was like a second cousin.
that's
So
pretty damn
couldn't-
close.
Yeah, she couldn't be like my mom's sister, but she could be like a child of
Right.
my mom's dad, unbeknownst to her. I don't know. I'm trying to see here. It said at one point like how related to them I was. I think it's like 2 or 3%.
Yeah.
It was high enough where I was like, this is okay. Here we go. I'll tell you. I found it finally. 4% second cousin.
Yeah. So that's got to be
4% is a lot.
And second cousin. Like I just said, my grandpa is listed as my third cousin, and that's like almost direct. So this has got to be someone who is the child of a sibling that your mom doesn't know she has.
Interesting.
What are you guys talking about?
Yeah. So it says you may share a set of great grandparents. You could also be from different generations or share only one ancestor. So I don't know. She didn't give me enough information, and I don't know enough information. I told her in the email that I sent her, I was like, please, like, give me as much information as you know, and I will try to fill in as much as I have. Because, like, yeah, 4%. There's only one other person on here that's more, and she's related to my mom because she's one of my mom's siblings' kids. So this might be something like that, but like this is just weird.
Yeah, or it could be your great grandpa's siblings' descendant.
But they would know about them.
Well,
no, that's the weird
unless
thing.
your great grandpa had an affair and your mom has an uncle she doesn't know about.
But here's the crazy thing: my mom's parents came to were first generation. They came to the United States with their families, so it would have to.
And is this person in the United States?
Yeah, they're in like.
Oh yeah,
Nevada,
she said California or something.
Fucking weird. Well, no, she was asking if she. What's super weird is she asked, "Do you have any relatives in the Bay Area?" And that is where my mom grew up. That is where my mom's family moved to when they came here from Italy. That is where my mom went to school and everything. That's where I was born in the Bay Area. So like I don't know, but she asked a last name.
Does your mom have any siblings?
Not any that she knows of. My mom's response being "wow" is kind of strange. So I'll let you guys know, but I may have fucking family members that I've never met that live in Nevada in like the middle of nowhere. So fucking wild. This is why this shit exists. Like,
interesting.
For real. Yeah, it's like weird that she would mention things that like I didn't prompt her to mention. Right. So
that are related to you.
Yeah, like the Bay Area, like, okay, wow, oddly specific.
That's so weird.
So what was your stories?
So this is a phone number, and I'm sure you've heard these stories before. It's a phone number, you know, it's a creepypasta, but it's a phone number that somebody put on the internet that you can call and weird things happen, right? But it's a phone number that you can actually call. Anybody want to call this?
No.
Yeah, give it to me. I'll call it.
You guys are like the little shits at a
sleepover,
and I'm like the goody two shoes. It's like, I don't want to do it.
630.
Okay.
296.
You said 630?
Yep.
I'm scared.
296.
Okay.
7536.
I got to put star 67. But hold on, I'm going to have you read it back to me. Star 67.
630.
Okay.
296.
Okay.
7536. Then I'll read the story.
World industry, your number has been logged. Great. Service representative will be with you shortly while remodeling. We at Industries say thanks. You have a marvelous day.
They'll call you back.
For real?
I don't know. Let me tell you the story now.
Yeah, please go for it. Hey, it's my phone, Alicia. You're good. Call my friend Alicia right now. Hello, Alicia. You need to call Alicia.
Stop saying her name.
Okay. I'm scared.
Okay. Here's the story. This is from Creepypasta. It doesn't say who it was written by. It might say it at the end. Okay. Like a lot of you, I called that number for Booth World Industries. Before I called, I read through the responses.
Okay, that's what it said.
Yeah, Booth World. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hang on. Stress. Okay. Before I called, I read through the responses in the thread. I like knowing what's going to happen before it happens. I guess I'm boring like that. It was still a sick thrill to dial the number and hit the call even though I knew what was coming. I was on the home phone and made sure to block my info just in case. Something went wrong though. You all got a voicemail.
Did. Smart people flock together.
You all got a voicemail.
I swear to God, if you somehow say that this is going to actually happen, I'm going to be real mad that you let me call this phone number, just so you know.
Let me tell you the scary story. You all got a voicemail. I got a live person. Welcome to Booth World Industries. My name is Samantha, and I will be your operator today. Name? I froze at this point. I didn't know what to say. I expected a canned message like the rest of you got, maybe even the weird text. I never expected a real person to pick up. I panicked and hung up the phone. When it started ringing 5 seconds later, I left the house to go pick up my daughter, Ariana, from school. On the way back, my cell started ringing. Ariana loves the hands-free phone in our car. She likes to pick it up and pretend like it's the intercom of a spaceship and that the caller is Cylon. I blame my husband's frequent viewing of Battlestar Galactica for this. Mommy, Ariana asked, can I push the button? Oh my god, this isn't even the story that I read. This is another
Scared,
one.
but invested.
Okay, hang on.
I also love how red your eyes are, Alicia. Bless.
I've also been really squashing them for a while too. I have. Have you not been watching me do this? My eyes are so itchy.
No. And scratchy.
I'm eating snappers, so.
That
You
means...
know what those are?
What?
It's like chocolate, pretzel, and caramel. They're so good.
You mean turtles? Is that a take 5? Snappers.
I don't know what this is.
Caramel au bretzels. That's what it says in French.
I'm sorry, hang on.
Yo, Alicia, send me some of those everything chips. Send you my address. I know what's up. Those are bussin'.
All right, I'm going to
Double
keep reading. But this isn't the one that I read, so we're learning together.
I'm scared.
Mommy, can I push the button? Sure, I said. Make it fast before the light changes, though. Ariana unbuckled her seat belt and reached up between the two front seats and hit the button that would pick up the phone. Hello, she said, after she waited for the beep that let you know the phone picked up. I heard the same voice from earlier, flat, almost robotic. Welcome to Booth World Industries. My name is Samantha, and I will be your operator today. Name? Everything stopped for me then. The light turned green, cars drove by, the cars behind me honked, but I sat there, staring at my wheel. r/no sleep is supposed to be a place for scary stories, a place where you can scare yourself a little, but be fine at the end. A place you live out your fears. There was nothing safe about that woman's voice on the other end of the phone. Mommy, Ariana asked, is everything okay? Hello, Ariana, the operator said. Welcome to Booth World Industries. My name is Samantha, and I will be your operator today. Name? Ariana, my daughter said. Ariana, stop, I said. Miss Jacobs, the woman said, please call the office when you get home. We have some remodeling to schedule.
No.
I didn't answer. I hung up the phone and drove the rest of the way home. Ariana looked up at me as we walked up the driveway. What's a Cylon? Blah, blah,
Chris,
blah.
don't do any remodeling.
Yeah, remodeling is not
I'm gonna
what
get a
it
call
sounds
tomorrow.
like.
Hello, Mr. Stashu. I didn't leave my cell phone number.
I'm stressed for you, Chris.
We got inside, I made Ariana a bowl of cereal and took her to her room. I turned on SpongeBob for her to watch, and I knew what I had to do. I typed Booth World Industries number into my cell. When I brought the phone up to my ear, someone was breathing on the other end. I never even heard it ring. Hello? I asked. Welcome to Booth World Industries. My name is Samantha, and I'll be your operator today. Name? My mouth went dry. I knew what I was supposed to do. Janice Hoffman, I said. Janice was my boss at work. Although her voice reminded me of Fran Drescher's, her constant exploring hands reminded me more of that sleazy boss from Disclosure. On the other end of the phone, I could hear Samantha pounding on the keyboard. It sounded like she was wearing one of those cordless headsets and slamming her face down on the keys. Janice Hoffman, she said, remodeling is scheduled for January 14th. Would you like to reschedule? Yes, I said. We have an opening on Monday. That's fine. Would you like a courtesy call? I wanted nothing to do with listening to someone die. No, I said. Are you sure, Miss Jacobs? Yes. All right, on Monday the 13th, we have Janice Hoffman scheduled for remodeling. Trying to leave out the dumb stuff. How would you like to pay for this? What the hell was she talking about? The original story never mentioned anything about a payment. Pay? I asked. Yes, Miss Jacobs, when you schedule remodeling, the scheduling is final unless another member shifts the scheduled date. We expect payment in full before the service is rendered. What's the price? Ariana.
Huh.
The name hung in the air. Ariana? What do you mean? The price for the scheduled remodeling is your daughter, Ariana. If you don't pay, you will have no choice but to repossess what is due. What is the difference between payment and repossession? I asked, closing my eyes. You can earn any payment back, parts of it at least, by referring new members. Unfortunately, all repossessions are final.
Someone saw The Twilight Zone one too many times.
So the original story is from r/no sleep. This one's from Creepypasta. The original one that I saw was a person who dialed the wrong number. They answered and said, this is Booth World Industries, name. They just ask for a name. And the person gives his own name. And the person who's talking on the other line is like, no, we know your name. What's the name for remodeling? And he thinks of the first name that comes to his mind, and it's his ex-wife. And he tells his ex-wife's name, and then they ask, do you want a courtesy call? And he's like, yeah, sure. And so they call him back on the day that he scheduled this, and he can hear her crying for her life. Why are you doing this to me? What is going on? And then she dies.
Now this is a good story.
And then
now this is a good story.
and then they call him back later, or he calls them back because he's like, okay, this was kind of cool. I feel like God. I can have people killed. And he calls them back to have someone killed. And he gives them a name, and they're like, okay, what do you want to schedule that for? We have an opening on this day. And he was like, no, let's do it on Friday. And they're like, oh, we can't do anything after Wednesday. And he's like, why not? And she's like, well, because your remodeling is scheduled for Wednesday. And he's like, well, can I reschedule mine? He's like, no, only the person who scheduled it can reschedule it. So he is set to be killed by someone else who also has the same thing. And he just learned that he's supposed to be killed on a certain day. It's
you guys ever
terrifying.
read the short story, The Box?
I'm crying
The one where
right
it's like
now.
you
What
press
is the
box.
matter with you? I just
Have you heard that the short story, The Box?
No,
by
I don't
Richard
think so.
Matheson? It's so a guy shows up at a house. These people are destitute, and he says, "Hey, this box. If you press the button on top of the box,
yeah.
one random person will die, but you'll get $1 million."
Yeah.
And the entire essentially short story, which has been adapted into a movie and a TV episode on Twilight Zone from 1985. It's always like, the dilemma of, is it, you press the button, it's someone you don't know, but you get $1 million. And then the conceit at the end is the box goes to somebody else and the guy's wife disappears.
Yeah.
Because, again, and there's also versions of the story when it's been adapted where he presses the button and his wife disappears. Or she presses the button and he disappears. Again,
Right.
there's multiple variations. That's what this sounds like.
Yeah. So as soon as you as you call this number and are able to kill someone, now someone is able to kill you.
Sierra's version of this.
I mean,
is
I
so
always had a
much
fear as a
scarier. I'm very upset.
I always had a fear as a kid of going on the wrong website and
Yeah. And accidentally
yeah.
seeing something you're not supposed to see.
Right. And then the internet becomes reality. And,
Yeah.
somebody shows
Now
up.
they got to take you out.
Right. I've always,
Go
that
into
was
my
something
bed
I
and
always
not
had as
come
a
out.
fear as a
I'm
kid.
actually terrified right now.
That's why when after he called it and he kept saying Alicia, I was like, stop that name.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
probably not in
If I-
Canada yet. It's not in Canada yet. You're fine.
It's not in Canada.
They'll
yet.
show up and probably be nice to you. They're Canadian. How are they going to kill you in Canada without handguns or guns?
Guns?
Not like we have
Both
guns.
of you laughing. What?
I don't
Not
know if
the
it's a
same.
contest that you want to
Yeah.
win.
No, it's not a contest you want to win. We just happen to be the winners
Fair.
overall.
I'm upset now, Sierra.
Yeah. I was upset when I first read it, and that's why I was like, I might share this with other people. Let me make you upset too. If I had to see it, you had to see it.
It's a good one. It's a good one. It preys on a lot of very common fears, which is what
Yeah.
the best creepypastas are.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I'd say original. There's a lot of phone number
Chris, I'm
ones,
gonna need
but
you to
it's
check it.
definitely up there.
Yeah, if I've been taken out. I like that there is a number that you can call.
Yes.
I do
that
like
too.
that aspect of the story. That's fun. That's fun. That makes it more fun.
Yeah.
Can you
Or kind
do
of like
that?
a- you know,
Can
it's like a
pay
thing,
for
you
like
know?
a phone number to just be an automated.
Yeah, don't
wanna
you
do it? We can
remember
get one.
my favorite books, Kathy's
Yeah.
Key? It literally has phone numbers in it that you can call and check voicemails. Like
Man,
you have
let's
to
do it.
figure out the password and everything. I've done it. It's awesome.
Way Media.
Yeah.
Come check out our lineup of podcasts.
Yeah,
Also, this number
there you
is
go.
close to something else.
We have a Google number.
Yeah, there you go. We'll just tell people
I
to
set
call
us up
it.
a Google number.
You did what?
I don't know
When?
I don't know what
Why?
the point would be.
I'm
I guess have
scared.
people call in.
Yeah. What's their names? Crime Diner. They have a Google number and people leave them voicemails like as review, like shout outs, and they play it on the
What?
show.
That's fun.
We should do that. I just want to
How do you not remember that? They played it for us.
We should just have terrible people calling us terrible things on the internet. That's what I want. People
Please
calling
don't do that to
Yeah,
us,
should.
guys. We do have a Google number though. It's on our Facebook page.
Okay, you got to share it with me.
Speaking of our Facebook page, go find it.
You just went like
Let's
sepia.
go down.
Sorry, my
Like her camera went
It's all over.
sepia all of a sudden.
Here we go.
I don't like that.
I do not like that.
It's transition number
I
5.
don't like it.
I should. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get some soundboard things that are like very quiet,
Ew,
like little
no.
kids talking and shit, and just play. it
Oh
very
my
soft
God.
in the back.
We're never
Did you
gonna
guys hear
know
that? Did you guys hear that?
if it was a ghost or real life.
Who's that
Actual
ghost? You guys hear that?
goosebumps right now. So upset with both of
Like
you.
the whale sounds on, and that's why we drink.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I would just that's. When you guys hear these EVPs in the background,
I would hate that.
Oh my gosh.
it's upsetting. ASMR is upsetting. What I just did is upsetting.
I agree. I
You're
hate
gonna
it.
have to listen to it later when you edit this.
It hurts my brain.
ASMR is weird because like I just imagine that it's about people that are like really turned on by it.
Right?
Into it.
Right?
Okay, right? Like, thank you.
What else? What other reason is there?
Does it ever show it to you on TikTok? I literally had to like say, no, don't show me stuff like this because it kept coming up.
All the time.
I hate it. It makes my skin crawl.
And it's like, and what's worse is like ASMR is bad, but ASMR mukbang is like, that's like the ninth circle of hell. Mukbang is where they like eat a lot of food.
Oh, God.
But then like ASMR is when they're like eating like crunchy food or like
tickling their microphone and I'm like
oh, I hate it so much.
I saw a lady with like long nails doing ASMR. Her nails were like this long and she was like dragging it. But it's like it's like a sex thing. There's no other explanation that I can find.
That's how I feel too, but I know people who like ASMR and I watch them watch it and they're not like horny. They're just like, I like that noise.
But Sarah,
like,
because
how do you fucking
you're
know?
watching them though.
How do you
you're watching them though?
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, what do you think they're doing when they're listening to ASMR in the privacy of their own home?
It aches me. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
It is gross. It's so fucking
gross.
Like, yeah, but mukbang ASMR when they're like eating.
I do not like mouth
strawberries
noises.
Covered in sugar and it's
no.
The ninth level of hell. I'm still on that.
It is. It for sure.
ASMR is bad, but ASMR of people eating crunchy food. It's like it sounds like you're eating
crunchy
like
food, wet food. It doesn't matter.
Oh, wet food.
Oh God. Ugh.
The best. Alicia, this is the worst part of the evening is talking about ASMR. Nothing else comes close, apparently.
At least she's not thinking about dying anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Now she is again, Sierra. What have you done?
Well, this has been lots of fun.
So, we'll have to do this again sometime.
I'm
We're still recording,
traumatized by this, and I will be sending you my counseling bills in the mail.
Send them to Booth World Unlimited
Industries. Yeah.
Booth World Industries, yeah. So when we're not doing an episode together, which we don't do enough, where can the listeners of my show find you?
We have a Facebook account, which is Twisted and Uncorked Podcast.
You already yelled at them.
You have to type podcast. Yeah. Twisted and Uncorked Podcast. You can follow us on Facebook. We also have Twisted and Uncorked on TikTok, Twitter. No, Twitter is Twisted_pod. Is that right? Instagram is Twisted and Uncorked. TikTok is Twisted and Uncorked. YouTube is Twisted and Uncorked. And our website is twistedanduncorked.com.
Can't miss it. We release new episodes every
We have
week.
new episodes. That's right.
And I get to say that you can find their show along with this show at weirdingwaymedia.com because
That's right.
we're all part of the same network, running in the same direction together, upward and to the right, not back and to the left like JFK got shot. That's where you can find us. You like that one. Chef's kiss. You can find us there at weirdingwaymedia.com along with such shows as The Projection Booths, Mike White, along with Father Malone's Dark Destinations, and let's plug a random one, 80s TV Ladies, a show hosted by Richard Haddam's wife, all about TV shows from the 80s featuring, you guessed it, ladies. As for this show, Scary Stories we tell on all social media, but that shit sucks other than TikTok because that's where we're trying to grow the audience. So follow the Weirding Way Media TikTok account and follow the Twisted and Uncorked TikTok account. Look at that. Both of them are like, wait, that's a thing? I followed y'all's TikTok account, by the way, just so you know. I did follow y'all's account. So, but that's where you can find us. And as for the people who work behind the scenes on this show, big thanks as always to Maggie the Odd and Dustin Rutledge for the album artwork for the show, and to Alex Malinac of Blondo for the music of the show. You can find him on Spotify. Just search Blondo. Big thanks as always to you guys for joining me. This was fun. We went all over the place, but we ended up right where we needed to be with ASMR Mukbang. And on that note, we'll let the former host of Sightings, Mr. Tim White, lead us out.
No mystery is closed to an open mind.